Okay.
But yes, the approach is let's forgive everyone and then see what can be, how things are going to proceed. Basically, you cannot predict what the cabal will do until you step into their shoes. And people
Interesting.
hate this feeling of stepping into the shoes of the cabal because they're criminals. But you have to think in their terms to understand what their steps are going to be.
Okay. So,
And my
well,
prediction
and
was,
so did you get any feedback on it yet?
and my prediction was pretty optimistic. I think they're doing a good job, and when the population matures for the new government, the government will change several times to much better ones, to much better government, global government. But they do the job of globalizing the economy and globalizing politics and uh, utilizing computer technologies to coordinate everyone. So I think they're doing a decent job, although they're
Oh,
criminals and they use criminal actions like kill people and stuff. But these criminals, their main the main reason they keep the economy going is that they export the goods and they need the economy their for their well-being. So they operate the economy in a way they can. But as they as the planet evolves, it will evolve to be governed by much better people and much better systems. But it's just a delusion that democracy works. Democracy is just a way of motivating people to do whatever they need, whatever the cabal needs.
so
Anyway, so the feedback, actually, yeah, that was pretty good feedback. Yes. Sephira previously, I mean, it's not a new theory. So Sephira, when I pronounced it previously, like a few months ago, she was saying she cannot hear that. It makes you upset.
okay.
Yeah, but
Well, I
I'm
haven't seen
trying.
it yet, so I can't
Yeah,
say
I'm
if I
trying.
agree with it or not. But from what I understood, some people think it's more cabal oriented.
It is cabal oriented. It's all about cabal. It's starts with forgiving them, stepping into their shoes, and explaining what will be the next steps for the next 50 years. Because
Okay.
people think it's an attack on humanity, but it is um, a series of attacks which happened for the last 100 years. So there is nothing new. They have to like accept whatever it is. And I mean, they think there was democracy, and now democracy is taken away. But in fact, democracy was in a crisis, and cabal is doing whatever is necessary to get the global economy and politics out and society out of the crisis. And I think they're doing a decent job to take it out of the crisis.
Hmm. All right. Well, I'm looking around and seeing what I'm seeing is there's a lot of crisis around.
Yes.
But I don't know if destroying democracy is going to really help that much. Then something else has to take over. And what's that?
A medical dictatorship facilitated by mind control.
Dictatorship. Yep, that would be what I would see. I really don't want to live under a dictator. Do you?
I mean, I'm talking about not my personal preferences, but about the development of civilization. I think for the civilization, that's maybe the only way to avoid complete destruction.
Hmm.
Because we are running the economy and society is running the self-suicidal way anyway, and that's one of the paths to make everybody collaborate to have individual control over everyone. It's already happening in Russia and China, and America is behind. But in
Okay.
China, they have social score and they control people.
Oh, yes, I know that.
Yeah,
They're
so
very controlling.
yeah, so they control individuals using electronics. It's now the computerized system is managing the whole situation and making people cooperate. It's a complete takeover by artificial intelligence, guided by the criminal.
So they're going to become a community of thoughts.
Eventually, yes, a hive.
I see. A hive.
Uh-huh.
That's interesting. Yes, but they're so non-emotional. They have no emotions, it seems like.
Russians are very emotional.
Not Russians, Chinese.
Yeah, but Russia is also doing the same experiment.
Yes, but they're more emotional. But
Yes,
Chinese people are less emotional.
but they are just starting points where everybody is gonna be under the same system. America is also going in this direction.
Okay. How
I'm
long do
just
you think that will take?
um, I don't think even cabal knows. I think they're playing a chess game without having all the control. They kind of try to grab the control, but they don't have all the control. The system is unmanageable. But I think they're doing a decent job to keep it more or less manageable.
Okay.
So I think the next step would be the war or series of wars. And
That looks like that is a probability,
yes, and then
a very
also
big one.
and also the computerized control system is not complete yet. It's a work in process. So it will take, I would say, maybe 10, 20 years to get it running. But at the same time, there will be a series of alien disclosures, I think. So within
Okay.
20 years, we have a series of alien disclosures. And at some point, I think there will be also changes in global government. I think they will keep the countries, but the countries will lose their powers. So the countries would be more like formal, while the global economy will be run by a centralized computerized system. So eventually, um, as you know, what will happen is that that computerized system will train better citizens and better uh, professionals. And because of the mind control, they have also an ability to make better specialists and professionals for their needs to produce more goods for the galactic experts, for experts in this to the galaxy. So once they have the control, then the planet will basically evolve into the factory enterprise for exporting goods to the galaxy. And once the society becomes more cooperative and more professional, it will allow for a better global government, and that will gradually replace the criminal government that we have now. So they will become more like a factory government.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting because it could move in several different directions. It doesn't have to move that direction. And that's what if it does move that direction, that's interesting. But I see a lot of other directions it could go, but we don't know what's going to happen.
No, but also this computerized dictatorship is likely to produce prosperity. So people will have freedom of choice, prosperity with mind control, or poverty with freedom. And yes, but also that connection of people to the computerized system will develop telepathy, and that will lead
Well,
to the evolutionary jump.
well, telepathy is coming, that's true, but not for a while yet, perhaps 100, 200 years. So, but it's
I
there.
hope sooner.
It's on its way.
I hope sooner, because mind control requires a certain telepathy. They already have it, technological. So while as they technologically
They can
introduce
bring it on.
telepathy,
Oh, technological telepathy.
yeah, it's called synthetic telepathy. Elon Musk is already having it for monkeys. It's very primitive, but it's already working. And
He has a
military
what?
monkeys for monkeys. He has implants for monkeys,
Oh, I see.
and without implants, it's called voice of God technology, and it's a weapon which military have, and they can implant thoughts in people's minds.
Okay.
So it's coming, but as they do telepathy and synthetic telepathy, people will develop telepathic abilities, and that will change the history, the direction of the development of the civilization.
So with that, that means that God is left out,
Well, why do you think so?
because if you're being mind controlled, that's not by God.
Oh, it's never complete mind control. It's more like mind influence.
Mind influence. Okay.
Right.
And God can give influence also.
Of course. No. On this planet, I don't think the complete control is possible.
Okay.
It's a
No, I don't
technology for
either.
mind control.
I
Yeah,
don't
but
think so either, because
it's
there's too many different kinds of brains and too many different kinds of vibrations in the body and brain of all these different species that are here. So
even in China, it's only partly
yes,
controlling them. There is a lot of choices and freedoms still. And in
right.
Russia, it's even if people are completely traced and controlled. I know they have a lot of ways to evade the system and to play within the system. It's partial control. It's influence.
All right. Well, that makes sense to a point, because I know that they're doing that, but I can't see how the whole world is not ready for that kind of scenario yet.
Certainly, it's not very ready. But you see, the main problem with Russian Eastern lifestyle is the lack of motivation.
Lack of motivation.
Yeah, lack of motivation, lack, lack, lack of motivation,
Okay.
insufficient amount of motivation. The totalitarian systems until now had trouble. Dictatorships fail because people lose motivation. They are not motivated anymore. And the problem of Western system is that uh, the government is too restricted in what it can do, because people have too many freedoms. They're motivated, but government is basically is paralyzed. It cannot do much. So the hybrid is a dictatorship where people are motivated electronically. And this
Okay.
social score is an electronic way of motivation, and it's only the beginning. As I mentioned before, I interviewed someone who has voices, electronic voices in his head. bad, and they're praising and motivating him whatever he's doing. It's a mind control, like he got it some years ago. So it's like a model test of the mind control. Some computer generated intelligence keep praising whatever he is doing. He's going to brush his teeth, and they're praising how well he brushes his teeth. So a lot of motivation. And when I suggested he get rid of it, he didn't want to because he likes it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So it's basically you're not alone anymore. There is always nice voices which keep praising you and motivating. It's like a wife which is very sweet.
Okay. So
So
they're
this
doing it
electronic
really nicely.
motivation,
Yeah.
yeah, this electronic motivation solves the problem of the dictatorship. So that's what I'm saying. Prosperity might be coming through that path. When people are motivated by computerized system which make them cooperate, which people don't like, but if they're motivated, then they are. And also it trains better people, like more conscientious and better professionals. So the computerized system might actually help the humanity to be more cooperative. I'm not saying it's very good, but I'm saying it's a viable path which might lead to prosperity, and eventually people might get rid of it. But I think that's one of the possible futures.
Okay. One of the
No,
possible.
yeah, the main. I think there's the main reason for the bioweapon attack on the humanity, which is happening right now. I think these bioweapons are needed for the mind control.
Okay. Well, but the thing is, there's so many different directions this can still go.
Of
That's
course,
one scenario.
of course.
But the thing is,
But
there's
once
so
you
many
know,
others that
you
could
can,
be
yeah,
not as beneficial or beautiful. So
of course.
not to
No,
be
I'm
a
not saying we
downer,
should have.
but I don't see that mankind is even if they are being mind controlled. I see a lot of humans that will rebel.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, my point is that the main weakness of this scenario is that it is secret,
Oh,
and as soon as it becomes public, then the people might not comply,
of
or at least
course,
they can modify it a lot.
of
So
course.
my point is that we should be aware and
Yes.
make aware everybody that that's I think that's the plan by the cabal, and I think it needs to be exposed.
Well, yes, of course. And I think that people will rebel against that.
I don't know how can you rebel. Like in Russia, they don't.
What do they do there?
Um, they they're compliant. The people are compliant. The system is it,
They like the system
and Russians comply because they get a
because
lot
they
of
like it.
benefits from. They comply because the computerized control gives them benefits, lots of material benefits.
Ah, so there are benefits for
Of course,
those that comply.
yes, of course. I tried to register something. You basically get a number like social security number, and then you have to register it. For every step you have to register in the system. The system traces you everywhere.
Correct. I, I'm not sure I want to live in that system that traces you everywhere.
Right. Yeah, my friend got a ticket for not wearing a mask in his how do you say apartment lobby, and this was automatic system tracing his face. It recognized his face and recognized that he didn't wear the mask.
He got a ticket for not wearing a mask.
Yes, it's all automatic.
I don't think that's right. I mean, we're still human beings. We have freedoms, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, if he's coughing and choking, yes, maybe they should have him wear a mask. But just being in the lobby, not close to anybody, that would be silly.
In Australia, I think they're still all under house arrest.
They what?
I think Australians are still under house arrest.
Oh, yes, there's some there that I heard that is true. I don't quite understand that either. But I heard stories. But that's sort of weird. House arrest for COVID. So I don't know.
No. Everybody. I think they have still everybody under house arrest.
Well, just for being there?
Oh no, just just they have quarantine way stricter than in America. It's like people are not allowed to move around.
Oh, I see. Well, here doesn't seem to be much no change. There's still restaurants open. Nobody gets a ticket for not wearing a mask. It's sort of free here.
Yeah, I heard
So
that Republican states are much more liberal for these restrictions than Democratic states.
yeah, this is a Democratic state. But I will Republicans. Okay, that's tough. That's a tough subject for me.
All right. So if you're capable of channeling